Hi guys, my name is Emily DeSimone. Here with me today I have director of photography for the film Ruthless, Joe Henry. Joe, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Emily?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, Joe, can you let our live viewers know a little bit about your role in Ruthless?
Yeah, absolutely. Ruthless began as an idea with a friend and collaborator, Stephen James, the artist. He had an established relationship with the singer Sophie Avedon, and she had this beautiful kind of heart-wrenching song called Ruthless that was about her experience with sexual assault. And so we wanted to make a video that sort of did service to this beautiful song and also kind of told a story. And the story that we landed on was sort of an homage to Promising Young Woman. The idea was that, in this really horrible situation, she had her power taken away, and we wanted to create a music video where she would be able to kind of take her power back, and in sort of a kind of a plot twist way that's sort of an homage to the movie. So I worked with my longtime friend and collaborator, Cody Tesno, to sort of storyboard a concept that we could execute within the time and budget that we were given. And we're really happy with the result that we had.
And Joe, I do understand that unfortunately Cody has passed.
Yeah, Cody was my lifelong best friend. We knew each other when we were 14 years old. And we used to talk about making content when we were older, and our lives kind of, you know, came together and spread apart as lives do. But we had finally reached a point in our lives where we were ready to start making the content that we really loved and sort of infuse our ideas into what makes really good content. And this was one of the first projects where we had full creative control and a reasonable budget to perform. But we're really happy with how it came out. But just prior to Thanksgiving last year, as a result of a number of factors, including a heart condition, a blood clot took Cody from us at the age of 43. It's devastating, but it's really fun to be able to honor him through, Garden State Film Festival and the work that we did together.
I'm so sorry for your loss. And as the Garden State, we are all so happy and proud to be able to honor Cody in this way for you guys.
Yeah.
And can you maybe talk a bit about, what you and Cody have done in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. We initially started out as kids just talking about funny ideas. We were drawn to comedy, and we, bonded over things like Monty Python and things that were contemporary at the time, like Kids in the Hall, and just kind of making our own stupid little comedy sketches. As we got older, we really started to focus on this idea of joy in our content. And I will admit that Ruthless is sort of a darker turn on joy, but it does involve giving the power back to the main character, to our protagonist, to Sophie's character in the film. And what was really important to us and the content that we were developing was to infuse everything with this sense of joy and heart. We were really influenced by a movie that's been getting a lot of attention this year called Everything Everywhere All at Once. What we loved about this film was that it was kind of fearless. It's very strange. You kind of, as a filmmaker, you sort of wonder, like, how in the world did this get greenlit? It's so weird. It's so out there. It takes so many risks. But what we really feel is that it was the heart that this had. It just, there's so much passion and so much, you really understand and feel for the characters. And so I think joy is something that, we really want in our lives, and we wanted to bring forth in our content. And as I'm moving forward without Cody and as a collaborator, I'm going to think about how to infuse things with that joy and that heart. And I apologize for the noise in the background.
No worries at all. Here at the Garden State, we love our furry friends.
Yes,
Everything Everywhere All at Once is a very moving, funny, and yet very moving piece that I saw as soon as it had come out in theaters, and so to be inspired by something like that is beautiful.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
I had a nice, just brief exchange with Daniel Kwan, the director, one of the directors of the film, on Instagram, and I just kind of let him know that how much his film meant to us, and how even though I won't be able to see that world with Cody, I'll still be able to, kind of carry that forward and that heart and that joy in what I do.
I mean, I think that, your relationship with him and that you got to do work with him, that he will be with you in everything that you do moving forward. I'm sure that he will be there with you.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a bit about your experience and in film, I wanted to say filmography, and being a director of photography?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I apologize for.
No worries at all.
um, what's part of my aesthetic as a DP is to bring a lot of color into my work. I really, really love saturated color, and I really love shadow and color combined. This sort of like evening outside of a bar scene, or sort of hyper real. Just I don't know. I see color, and I see combinations of color, and I really like. It's like a feast for my eyes, and so you'll see this everywhere in the video. The video there kind of takes place in two locations. One is in sort of a home where it's kind of some seedy characters and a party going on, and we're not quite sure, what's happening, who's good, who's bad. And the other kind of location is sort of inside of our protagonist's mind. It's sort of a forest. We see this sort of old Victorian chair that she's sitting in the beginning, and later on becomes this sort of like bonfire to represent this sort of like fire and rage that's going on in her own mind. And so as a cinematographer, I really wanted to bring a lot of life, but also kind of create the juxtaposition between these two locations. So we have this sort of forest scene at dawn. It's sort of serene, but also kind of like eerie, kind of mystical. And that was very naturalistic lighting. We got up at the crack of dawn to shoot that with very minimal lighting and just a little haze and smoke to make it sort of mystical. And then in the home, we wanted to create these kind of two layers. You'll see in the video, there's kind of red, which is this downstairs. It's this danger. It's this otherness. And she kind of travels upstairs where there's kind of blue, and it's not necessarily a safe space, but it's her space within that environment. So really kind of using color and the juxtaposition of something sort of hyper real with the color versus something naturalistic like dawn, to create these different locations in the viewer's mind. Yeah.
And how did you what is your relationship with the band or singer?
Yeah, so Sophie is an artist that I was introduced to through a mutual friend of ours named Stephen James, the artist, who's a performer and a manager and all around just an entrepreneur and a great guy, entertainer. And he really believes in Sophie, and we had done some smaller projects together, and he said, "This is the one. We're going to do something great here." And so Cody and I met with Sophie, and we talked through what the song was about, and that's how we kind of developed the concept of the homage to Promising Young Woman. Yeah.
And with that said, how did you come to meet and get a hold of the people that helped to work on this project?
Yeah, a lot of it was kind of homegrown. We were tapping our friends and family. I have a small production company called Big Sur Creative. We have a studio based in Hamilton, New Jersey. And we also have a really strong relationship with a kind of sister company called Aspire Studios. So Aspire was good enough to lend us some of their producers. A good friend of mine, Desmond, produced and just kind of wrangled all the cats and got all the logistics in line. And then Cody and I, through Big Sur Creative, source locations, concepts, all of the production equipment was owned by my company. So it was kind of, grab your friends, do everything as cheaply and quickly as you can, and hope for the best. And we were really proud with the results. And it was also shot in New Jersey, up in Glen Gardner, at this beautiful home that had done lots of, photo shoots and music videos for artists in the past. So we were pretty confident that it would be a great location to shoot in, and it was.
So you run your own production company?
Yeah, it's just a small production company, and unfortunately, as a result of losing Cody, it's really just me. And I'm this is all very fresh, so I'm not sure what the future holds. But I know I will be looking to do more original content, narrative content, that kind of reinforces this idea of bringing joy to people's lives in what they consume. I think we watch a lot of content that has a lot of violence, or has a lot of, is very stressful, and these things are very mainstream. And it's not that I don't enjoy those things, but sometimes, if you watch something and you walk away with a smile on your face and a smile on your heart, I feel like maybe we should focus on that a little more.
And how did you come to find the Garden State Film Festival?
Good question. At the time, we were kind of exploring options because we were really proud of what we had done. And there aren't a ton of festivals that sort of accept music video submissions. And we were very fortunate to have just, I think, through our searching online, found Garden State that had this categories for not only music videos, but also kind of homegrown, filmed in Jersey kind of categories. And we felt like that was appropriate. We this is not a music video with a huge budget. It was well under $20,000, all said and done. And so we felt like that was the best place to kind of showcase our work, and we're really happy that we did.
And this is your first time?
It is, yeah. It is my first submission and first time being accepted to the festival, and hopefully not the last.
Well, congratulations on your acceptance into the festival.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of, new time filmmakers and producers and cinematographers that come through. Do you have any advice for some lesser experienced that could, use some of your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first piece of advice I would give is just go do, which I understand. There is easier said than done. Sometimes as filmmakers, especially people like myself who are gearheads, we get caught up in oh, I need this piece of gear, or these lights, or this camera, or these lenses in order to make my dream come true. But the reality is that the major barrier between where you are now and where you want to be is just having done the thing. So beg, borrow, and steal a camera and some basic lighting kit, and you can accomplish really wonderful things. And the second thing I would say is believe in yourself. You have these ideas that are based on your life and your experiences and the kind of content that you're drawn to, and those things have value. You might feel like, oh, I'm not the next, Tarantino or whoever, but your specific point of view is important and valid, and it might be exactly what somebody out there needed to see, or would really love to see. So believe in yourself, and just go do it.
I guess my final question for you is, when this film airs and screens for some of our live viewers now and whatnot, what is it you want them to take away from it?
Oh, that's a heavy one. The subject matter of the video is heavy. It is a victim of sexual assault taking her power back. Um, I guess, because of the situation with Cody, and because of how much like sort of emotion is wrapped up within the project, I would say I would want people to know that how much heart went into it. This wasn't just a revenge story that we were trying to tell. We were trying to give something back to people who have been victims and have been victimized in their life. So take heart, tell your stories to help heal, and kind of hopefully help prevent tragedies like this, in moving forward in life. and just art can heal.
That's a beautiful message. Art can heal.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you guys, you can see the film Ruthless screening on Saturday, March 25th at the Jersey Shore Arts Center from 2:30 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. Joe, thank you so much for taking the time with me today, and I know that we will be honoring Cody through this screening. So, I hope that you do have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will be seeing you there.
Yes, absolutely.
I look forward to meeting you in person.
All right. Thanks, Emily.
Bye, guys.
Bye.